Okay, we're going to try this again after my battery died. We are going to see where this goes now. So, digital citizenship, limiting screen time. I did this with my friend Bobby, so that means I'm Nick. So, what is this? In layman's terms, honestly, it's just limiting the amount of screen time you spend on any device in an effort to better yourself via exercise, mentally, physically, anything. Just again, I want to preface this by saying screen time is not necessarily a bad thing. When it is used in excess, it becomes a bad thing. So just keep that in mind. So the companies, CDC down here, they are the ones that kind of divided this up into the three major adolescent groups. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot to say from me about adults and screen time because that's not my expertise area. My expertise area is adolescents, young adults. So, screen time versus lean time is something CDC put out a while ago, but it still is very accurate. Ages 8 to 10, they say, spend about 6 hours a day looking at a screen. Some form of entertainment, 4 hours is spending watching TV. Instead, they could play a game of basketball, walk a dog, dance their favorite songs, jump rope, ride their bike, anything that gets the body moving. Skip that one. You can't read this one too well, but this is ages 11 through 14, and here it says that they spend about 9 hours a day in front of a screen. Now, I don't know if that was my case when I was that age bracket, but I'm hoping not. But we will see about that. Um, Especially today, since a lot of kids have smartphones when they're younger, they have access to the internet when they're younger, it's just becoming a bigger and bigger issue. Again, same thing. Get outside, get the body active. Oopsies. Screen time and lean time. Again, this is ages 15 through 18. You can kind of see it goes down a little bit to 7.5 hours, but just remember that's probably because a lot of kids are starting their high school careers, which probably means that they don't have a lot of time for this anymore, or they're so bored of it that they just don't care anymore. Again, the big thing you can do here is get some yard work done. Chores are honestly a great way to stay active. I know that sounds kind of stupid, but mowing the lawn, raking the leaves, any outdoor work, any indoor work, if you're just dusting or vacuuming the house, it gets it active. Gets you away from the screen, and it gets you active. This is a video. I'm not going to play this for you right now. It's only about a minute long. You can YouTube that on YouTube or Google along the lines of limiting screen time. It's only about a minute long. So how can we, as parents and teachers, implement this? Well, like any good thing, it all begins at the home. So limiting screen time, experts say an average of 2 hours is what's recommended for teens. I don't know any teenager that uses 2 hours or less of screen time a day, but it's worth looking into. Definitely give it a try. Try it out for a week, limit yourself down to 4, then 3, then 2, see how it goes from there. Maybe it'll give you a little more time to be active. Again, remember, screen time is not necessarily a bad thing, especially on rainy days. But when it's used in excess, got a few issues going on. Get some exercise instead. Experts say 1 hour of exercise is great. Jump on a trampoline, play ball, take a walk, vacuum the house, get some chores done. Anything that will help you on that. So, stop staring at me.
So stare.
Reading for 10 minutes is a day is good for your health. It stimulates the mind, it increases your vocab, and it's extremely addictive. This is a little off topic, but at the same time, consider just picking up a book. It may not be as good for your eyesight, especially if you have strained eyesight, but anything that will stimulate the mind, it will definitely intrigue people, and it will get you away from the screen. It'll give you something else to think about. So, Forest is an app that was developed about 2 or 3 years ago. It's very interesting. It's an app for limiting screen time, and you can see how long you've limited your screen time, and you can plant trees while your phone is off. You literally just set a timer, and the phone locks itself for that amount of time. You can cancel at any time, but it discourages you not to. Over time, depending on how long you stay off the phone, you will grow trees, so it's like a little virtual reward. Something very entertaining, consider using it in the classroom. The basic program is free, $1.99 if you want to get all the bells and whistles, but consider adding that to a student's iPhone or Android device in the classroom, something to consider. There's another device that's sent out for on what is that website called? Kickstarter. It's called Distractagon. It's great for classrooms and home alike. It didn't get very far. The one that did get very far was something called K-Safe. It's the same idea. It's a small plastic bin. You can put whatever you want in it, set the timer, and the bin will lock. The only way you can get the bin open is if you break the bin. You break the bin, it's not a bin anymore, so it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. But this is a little more extreme in some cases, but again, it's not necessarily a bad idea. Now, why? Why do we want to limit screen time? Well, too much screen time has a lot of health issues. A sedentary lifestyle, which leads to obesity in the long term, sleep loss, behavioral issues, and educational problems. Again, no one wants to see me when I am sleep deprived. Not a nice day. Behavioral issues and educational problems, both of those relate to each other. It's all a matter of balance. Definitely a matter of balance. So, the effects in school, how does it limit screen time affect students and teachers? Well, students have excessive screen time. It hinders their educational performance. A big example, if you spend too much time on your phone, it's an addiction. Some kids are on their phone during class. It also causes fatigue and poor sleep time, as mentioned seriously, and that will majorly affect the students' grades. Teachers, too much screen time again causes fatigue. No one wants to have a fatigued teacher. That's good for nobody. It encourages students to look toward non-traditional methods. If you limit your screen time, pick up a book. Pick up a book. Honestly, we had these things called encyclopedias back in the 50s. They were great. Interesting things. It improves your creativity. You can't always Google everything, so you're going to have to experiment to find out where you can get this information from. It improves your creativity. It encourages students to look for non-traditional methods. And in a world of constantly evolving societies, creativity and non-traditional methods are going to be the cornerstone of society. The education aspect, students may not have access to swaths of information for long periods of time. They may also feel more stressed to complete assignments when faced with a time limit. The overall concept of this is limiting your screen time has many redeeming qualities. There's nothing wrong, again, with video or TV, any good things, but any good thing, it has to be done in moderation. The screen time gives many advantages to students and teachers, but again, everything must be done in moderation. Google is a great tool. Google Classrooms, the app I mentioned called Forest, they're all great. But again, you got to remember to do this all in moderation.
So, if you guys are ready, you can just open up a blank page. Maybe you guys can
And there you go. It's the end, and you just used 7 minutes of your screen time, so you have got about 1 hour and 53 left to go.